Good morning. Please be seated. Members of the class of 2023, parents, family members, friends, faculty, and staff, I welcome you to this baccalaureate service and to the entire series of events that will culminate tomorrow morning in our commencement ceremony. After tomorrow, you, our seniors, will be graduates of Washington and Lee University, a distinction you will carry with you for the rest of your lives. Lives that I am sure will be ones of consequence, full of accomplishments that will bring yet further distinction to you and to your alma mater. These are happy days, but also strange. They're full of powerful and mixed emotions. They intersperse moments of high formality, such as our gathering here this morning, with precious moments of informality shared with family and friends. There's inevitably sadness in your leave takings, and you would not be human if you did not feel some anxiety as you face a future that's full of promise but necessarily uncertain. But let this period also be overflowing with joy and gratification that comes with knowing you've done well, that you've grown as individuals and become forever a member of a very special and extended community. There's an established rhythm to this series of events at Washington and Lee. Tomorrow is a time of great celebration. Today is one of reflection and giving thanks. Each of you knows that you would not be here without the support of your family and friends, without the guidance and encouragement of the faculty, without the support of the staff, without the generations of alumni who have come before you and given of their gifts so that you might benefit from the same opportunities that so profoundly shaped their lives. And so we gather here for this baccalaureate service. It arises from the religious traditions of the university, which was founded by disciplined, thrifty, and strong-willed Scotch-Irish Presbyterians. They came to this valley in search of freedom from religious constraint and with a desire to fashion a community of hardworking individuals. From that disposition, they created a place of learning that has always been non-sectarian and non-denominational. The origins of this day go back to the 18th century, and as it was then, it remains a time for us to reflect on how an education shapes the life of a caring individual. For your time here has taught you to share the fruits of your education, to take your life in a direction of service, no matter your career, and to be mindful of ideals that transcend the self. To help us with that theme, I now call upon the members of the University Singers, under the direction of Shane Lynch, who will sing The Road Home.
Dark
Thank you, University Singers. We're privileged this morning to hear from the recipient of the Algernon Sydney Sullivan Medallion, who was selected by the faculty. This is one of the highest awards at the university. Washington and Lee presents the Algernon Sydney Sullivan Award to the undergraduate senior who exhibits Sullivan's qualities by excelling, quote, in high ideals of living, in fine spiritual qualities, and in generous and disinterested service to others. When the institution makes the student award, it appoints the recipient as its representative to bear its standard before the world. Earlier today, I had the pleasure of presenting this year's Algernon Sydney Sullivan Medallion to Tahri Phillips. Tahri, a Johnson Scholar from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, is a cognitive and behavioral science and English double major who will continue her studies next year at Oxford, where she plans to pursue a master's degree in evidence-based social intervention and policy evaluation as Washington and Lee's 18th Rhodes Scholar. During her 4 years on campus, Tahri's made a tremendous impact on the W&L community, serving as a head community assistant, a leader with the Perry Minority Athlete Coalition, treasurer and public relations chair for Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and a student representative on W&L's Student Affairs Committee. She was a captain of the varsity women's basketball team, co-president of W&L's all-female a cappella group, a research assistant in the Cognitive and Behavioral Science Lab, and a 3-time student co-facilitator for W&L's first-year experience course. Tahri also served as university ambassador and as co-director for the Senior Gift. As a sophomore, Tahri won the university's Decade Award for her involvement and leadership within the W&L academic and extracurricular communities and for furthering discussions of women's issues on campus and beyond. Tahri was one of only 2 juniors to be initiated in the spring of 2022 into both Phi Beta Kappa, the National Academic Honor Society, and Omicron Delta Kappa, the National Leadership Honor Society. That same year, she received the Edward Lee Pinney Prize, which honors an undergraduate student who demonstrates extraordinary commitment to personal scholarship and the nurturing of intellectual life at Washington and Lee. This year, Tahri won the Anise F. McLeod Excellence in Diversity Award, which recognizes a member of the W&L community who's demonstrated a personal commitment to promoting diversity awareness, acceptance, and appreciation on campus. She was also a co-recipient of the Alexander Thomas Bowling Class of 10 Memorial Award, which honors seniors for their campus leadership. At Oxford, Tahri plans to build on her undergraduate studies by exploring potential intervention strategies for at-risk and underrepresented youth inside and outside the classroom, and how to best create more equitable learning environments. I now call upon Tahri to present a reading that she has chosen to help us celebrate this occasion.
Good morning, everyone. I can't even begin to express what an honor it is to be up here speaking to you all today. As I was considering what would be a fitting reading that reflects who we are as a class, the word that recurred in my brain was change. I don't think any of us are the same people we were when we stepped onto campus 4 years ago, and W&L certainly is not the same place at all. We have advocated incessantly for change, attempting day after day to make the people and places around us better. Tomorrow, our relationship with W&L will be changing. And in a few short days, we will be leaving the place that many of us have been able to call home. But change isn't a bad thing. These are the moments where we grow the most, and this is all a reminder that we are not stagnant, that we are not stuck in any moment. And I think we're ready for this change. Actually, I know we're ready for this change. We've had a lot of practice at resilience and adaptability. But I will say, if the changes ever feel like too much, remember that you have a village behind you, near and far. With that being said, the poem I've selected is from one of my favorite poets of our generation. Most well known for her poem, The Hill We Climb, that she read at the 2020 presidential inauguration, Amanda Gorman has been a champion for change, using her platforms to speak about oppression, feminism, race, and marginalization. While The Hill We Climb is an incredibly powerful piece, and I encourage you all to read it or listen to it, after this, if you haven't before, I am instead going to share her more recent poem, New Day's Lyric. Despite being written to celebrate New Year's, its message invites us to embrace and push for change together as we step into a new future. New Day's Lyric. May this be the day that we come together. Mourning, we come to mend. Withered, we come to weather. Torn, we come to tend. Battered, we come to better. Tethered by this year of yearning, we are learning that though we weren't ready for this, we have been readied by it. We steadily vow that no matter how we are weighed down, we must always pave a way forward. This hope is our door, our portal. Even if we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it, to leave the known and take the first steps. So let us not return to what was normal, but reach towards what is next. What was cursed, we will cure. What was plagued, we will prove pure. Where we tend to argue, we will try to agree. Those fortunes we forswore, now the future we foresee. Where we weren't aware, we're now awake. These moments we missed are now the moments we make, the moments we meet, and our hearts, once all together beaten, now all together beat. Come, look up with kindness yet, for even solace can be sourced from sorrow. We remember, not just for the sake of yesterday, but to take on tomorrow. We heed this old spirit in a new day's lyric. In our hearts we hear it. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne. Be bold, sang time this year, be bold, sang time. For when you honor yesterday, tomorrow ye will find. Know what we fought need not be forgot nor for none. It defines us, binds us as one. Come over, join this day just begun. For wherever we come together, we will forever overcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Tahri. I now have the honor of introducing our baccalaureate speaker, Mary Hipp. Mary is the co-founder and board chair of Feed and Seed, a Greenville, South Carolina nonprofit whose mission is to connect regional farmers with organizations and individuals that have had difficulty finding supplies of fresh, locally grown and produced food. A 1990 graduate of Washington and Lee, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in drama, Mary went on to earn a culinary arts certificate from Tante Marie's Culinary School in San Francisco. Her career includes positions in data quality within Still Corporation, a supply chain management company, and as a chef and instructor at Tante Marie. Since returning to her hometown of Greenville, Mary has been active in civic and nonprofit organizations, serving on a number of boards supporting food access systems, women's philanthropy, local arts, and animal welfare, including the Metropolitan Arts Council, Friends of Brook Green Gardens, Friends of the Reedy River, Live Well Greenville, Friends of the Zoo, the Peace Center for the Performing Arts, the Greenville Humane Society, the Greenville Chamber Board of Regents, and the City of Greenville Arts in Public Places Commission. She's a graduate of Leadership South Carolina, the Riley Institute Diversity Leaders Initiative, and Leadership Greenville. She's also a fellow of the 7th class of the Liberty Fellowship and a member of the Aspen Global Leadership Network. At Washington and Lee, Mary has served in numerous leadership roles in the South Carolina Piedmont Alumni Chapter and has supported the Annual Fund, the Class of 1990 Scholarship Endowment, and the John and Ann Wilson Honor Scholarship. She was recognized for her service to and support of both the university and her community with the Distinguished Alumna Award in 2015. Please join me in welcoming Mary Hipp back to her alma mater.
I'm not quite sure I'm that outstanding. Good morning and congratulations. You made it. The world is yours. Spread your wings, etc., etc., etc. You've heard all those. I am Mary Hipp, class of 1990. I am a legacy. My father graduated from WNL in 1962, September 1962. He flunked his English comp, didn't tell his family, who all arrived for the May graduation, packed up his books, flew to Europe, bought a motorcycle, drove around Europe for the summer, returned, retook the comps, passed, and graduated in September 1962. I am a pioneer. I'm a member of the second class of four-year women graduates. I promise you, when I arrived at WNL, I had no clue how significant that would be shaping me and WNL. Washington Lee went through significant educational and social shifts during my tenure. As women, we challenged things that had been norms for a long time. Learning how to stand up for what I believe in politely, demanding respect, and having empathy and compassion for a rapidly changing world were tools I learned here and still use today. I am a drama graduate. I like to say I'm a theater graduate, first female techie graduate. I designed and built sets and lights for the Troubadour Theater, which is now the Encore Salon. I was a techie because I despise, I dread public speaking, being the center of attention and large crowds. But look where I stand today. Before the class of 2023, I have not thrown up, I have not fainted, and I have not dropped dead. FYI, I never used my undergraduate degree in the field of theater. I used my undergraduate degree to navigate life. Teamwork, creative problem solving, leadership, getting things done while having fun. You know that you have made lifelong friends while at WNL. You will get together often in the years right after graduating. As they enter the raising the family mode, communications and gatherings will drop significantly. Don't worry, that phase passes. And you will reconnect right where you left off. My four best friends from WNL are now empty nesters, and we gather without fail twice a year for long weekends. I love seeing people's reactions when I say I'm hanging out with my best friends from WNL and their wives. They all married up, and my WNL community is richer for it. You may find your life partner here. My parents met here. Dad saw Mom across the living room at a fraternity party in September of my mom's freshman year at Mary Baldwin. First date, they are sitting at the drive-in theater. Dad pulled out a machete from the back seat, explaining how hard he had to work that summer. Dad placed the blade of that machete on the back of my mom's neck to explain how sharp it had to be to cut the grass. When she returned to the dorm, blood was trickling down the back of her neck. Needless to say, Mom's dormmates were horrified and said she should never, ever date him again. While her dormmates' fears were understandable, she's a pretty good judge of character. My parents were married nearly 60 years before my dad passed away. Dad may not have been at the top of his WNL class, but he turned out fine. An incredible businessman, a visionary for Greenville and South Carolina, generous of time, talent, a convener, mentor, teacher, listener, and a great husband and a great dad. He greatly valued his time at WNL and the lifelong friends he made. Dad loved serving the university as an alumnus and a volunteer, as I do. Let's talk about the men of Washington and Lee during the early days of co-education. Suffice it to say, not all of them were thrilled with the idea, nor shy about expressing their opinions. It was uncool to date a W&L woman the early years. They became friends instead of boyfriends. While many aspects of being a woman student at W&L were no different than any other college, there were times we experienced the unexpected. For instance, more than a few of our male classmates sported a t-shirt with images of soccer balls, baseballs, footballs, about being the last class with balls. Seriously? That minor challenge thickened my skin and prepared me for what has come after I sat where you sit today. Those 4 friends I mentioned before have always said I had balls. They're just bigger and higher. Since I walked off this campus in 1990, I've lived in New Zealand and 5 states. I've earned an advanced degree, worked in the service industry for 20+ years. Everyone needs to work in the service industry. That will teach you empathy. I've changed careers. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. I've bounced checks. I have not had health insurance, but have had numerous roommates. I didn't buy my first house until I was 41. I did things I said I would never do. For example, moving back to my hometown, Greenville, South Carolina. I believe the words I used 18 years ago was never, ever, ever were you going to get me back to Greenville, South Carolina. I never got married or had children, but I have fostered over 20 Great Danes. I have started a nonprofit, Feed and Seed Co., a nonprofit food innovate hub serving local farmers, families together on a mission to increase food security, support local farmers, promote healthier lifestyles, and stimulate the local economy. It took 10 years to get it launched and relaunched and relaunched and relaunched from conception to opening. As a founder, I never know what I'm going to be doing day to day. Opening, closing, giving presentations, peeling carrots, cleaning bathrooms. Having the ability to turn on a dime, flexibility, to turning a battleship, patience, or discovering new innovative ideas, creativity, are all skills acquired during my days here at W&L. So, lead by example. Do not ever ask someone to do something you will not do. Do not be surprised by the twists and turns. They will happen. Embrace. Listen to and trust your instincts and your guts, especially you ladies. In the words of my dad, shut up and listen. You might learn something. Give yourself permission to fail. Acknowledge it, regroup, and try again. Forgive yourself. No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave. Thank you, Taylor Swift. And remember, you can. Start late. Start over. Be unsure. Look different. Try and fail, and still succeed. I am Mary Hipp, a proud member of the W&L class of 1990. Again, congratulations, have fun, you have earned it. The world is yours to conquer, spread your wings, etc., etc. I have not fainted, I have not thrown up, and I have not dropped dead. So from the theater world, that's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, for your thoughtful remarks. Fabulous job. We will now hear again from the university singers.
Smiling valley, until your rolling river. I long to see your smiling valley.
Thank you, University Singers, and their director, Shane Lynch. Their work is not yet done. In a moment, they will lead us in the W&L hymn. But before they do, let me wish all of you an enjoyable 24 hours, especially to the students, your final 24 hours as students at Washington and Lee. Let it be among the most meaningful of your time together. And now, would you please rise as we hear the W&L hymn?
In the shadows of white columns, we stop to hear the chimes, worn steps on which we linger, slowly yield to time. But when we doubt our future's course, our honor sets us free. Our timeless trust in our alma mater, Washington and Lee. As the bells ring out the hour and echo through the halls, we sense in this brief moment the strength within these walls. But when we doubt our future's course, our honor sets us free. Our timeless trust in our alma mater, Washington and Lee.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I invite everyone to join us for lunch on Cannon Green, and if you wish, at the reception which follows at Lee House. We will reconvene here tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the commencement exercises. We are now adjourned. Thank you.